Now, Howard County, as we all know, is the very best place to live, work, play, and grow in our nation. And our quality of life is widely recognized nationally, from U.S. News and World Reports to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. The foundation of that quality of life is our exceptional education system. It's why families and businesses move and grow here, and it's what makes Howard County a true leader. As an educator and parent of children in our school system, one graduate, one on our way, one of my most meaningful responsibilities as your Howard County executive is to provide the resources needed to build upon this legacy. The classrooms and facilities where our educators and students grow, and leaders and visionaries of tomorrow are able to be safe, nourishing environments that foster learning and innovation. And that's why my proposed county budget that is now before our county council contains an historic $105.9 million for school construction, the most in the past 20 years. This proposed funding provides all the construction resources requested by our Board of Education and the Howard County Public School System, who have been tremendous partners in advancing our public school system. Overall, our commitment to school construction funding has increased by nearly $80 million since 2018 compared with the previous four-year period. This budget funds all of the priorities and the projects the school system have as part of our ongoing efforts to address school overcrowding. This includes completion of the new High School 13 in Jessup and the highly anticipated and long-sought replacement for Talbot Springs Elementary School, which will open for the 22-23 school year. It also includes completion of the renovation and addition to Hammond High School, right where we're standing today. This is an exciting project that will create 200 additional student spaces for more amazing Golden Bears and involves a complete renovation of the existing building and a two-story addition to the front of the building. The front addition will allow separate bus loop and the vehicular traffic to promote a safer circulation and help address traffic issues. This exciting project is also designed to be energy efficient. And we believe the design and construction of this project will achieve another LEED certified designation for our schools, something we can all be proud of. Now, while growth and development may be slowing in Howard County, in fact, it is at its lowest point in years. But nonetheless, many of our schools have been above the capacity level, and that has been above the capacity level that has been set for an optimal learning environment. The 200 seats at Hammond, along with our other priority projects, will create a total of 2,400 new seats for our students in Howard County by the end of 2023. We have also paved the way for new school construction projects in the future, securing property for the new Turf Valley Elementary School, identifying Troy Park as the location of the new High School 14, and successfully advocating to expedite the beginning of the Oakland Mills Middle School renovation addition by 3 years. We can all be proud of our shared progress to reach this point as we work together to address the challenges faced by our school system. And while new schools and additions are vital to creating ready and successful students, it's equally critical to maintain our existing schools. In Howard County, 65 of our 76 schools, or 86%, were built before 1980 and require maintenance attention like every well-loved building at that stage. And since 2018, we've increased county funding for systemic renovation by more than $20 million, which is more than 50% higher compared to the previous 4 years. We're moving expeditiously on overdue HVAC and boiler replacements, upgraded windows and doors, and more. Included in my FY23 budget proposal is over $30 million in total funding for systemic renovations such as the Manor Woods Elementary School HVAC and wastewater treatment plant, the completion of Guilford Elementary School, exterior windows and doors, the West Friendship Elementary School well and completion of the Jeffers Hill boiler replacement projects. And this budget also fulfills requested funding for deferred maintenance, special education program needs, indoor environmental quality, and school security measures. I'm so thankful for our state delegation. Their partnership would not have, without their partnership, we would not be here today. They have helped advocate and advance funding during the past legislative session and the previous ones, and due to their efforts securing funding, we were able to adequately ensure that our students and educators have the very best environment in which to learn and grow. Thank you.
Good morning, County Executive Ball, Superintendent Materano, members from our state delegation, and Board of Education. I am Opal Jones, and it is a pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the Howard County Council as your County Council Chair. Since 2018, it has been an absolute honor and pleasure to work with a committed and tenacious county executive who puts our future leaders first and someone who works tirelessly to bridge the gaps in school services. I'm beyond grateful for the unwavering support of County Executive Ball and State Senators Gazzoni and Lamb for your steadfast leadership, securing over $105 million for school construction, which was a request from the Howard County Board of Education. These record-setting investments in education have increased funding for school construction by $78 million in the past 4 years. The major renovations and additions here at Hammond High are welcomed and appreciated by HCPSS's long-range capital planning. I look forward to continue to work with my colleagues during this year's budget cycle to uphold our commitment and dedication to our future, our continued partnership with the Board of Education. It is truly a pleasure to serve you and the members of our community. Thank you so much.
Good morning. It's exciting to be with a bunch of folks who are committed to the same values, to the same issues and concerns, whether it's the county executive, the county council, the school board, the system, school system. It's great to be partners, and it's been great to be partners over the last couple of years when we really, I believe, stepped up our efforts on school construction. Let me just say for this particular year, the good news is that we were able to secure beyond what is our normal allotment through the IAC process, $35 million of flexible money that is not, there's no match required for it. That kind of money is going to be able to help do all the things that the county executive spoke of earlier. But I'm frequently talk about budgeting as not simply being about 1 year. It happens every year, of course, and it's the cumulative effect that really matters in our community. I have to say real quickly, we have a retirement in our delegation, Delegate Shane Pendergrass, and the interesting moment that we're in right now is that I came to work with her knowing a story where she ran the first time in order to work on school construction because her child was taking a test on the floor in the cafeteria. It's a story that's sort of hung with me and hung with a lot of folks as we, over time, think about what we must do to provide the best kinds of facilities for our children. In the last couple of years with the Blueprint for Education, which is operating funds, and the Built to Learn program, where we brought in $130 million worth of investment for school construction. All of these combined together over the course of time are really a huge effort and a real commitment to what matters most, and that's our schools and our kids, the staff that is here, everyone who's involved, the parents, everyone who's engaged in the education of our children. I'm just pleased to be working with all of these individuals to help make that happen. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you for the invitation, County Executive Calvin Ball, and so many others who made this wonderful day possible to help make sure that we continue to invest in our public school system. We have a good showing from our delegation here, many unsung heroes and champions that really care about education. Senator Gazzoni is very modest in what he says, but without the support of Senator Gazzoni, we would not be here with the amount of funding that we have. So I want to acknowledge him as well. We also have, as Senator Gazzoni mentioned, Chairman Pendergrass, and thank her for her service as she retires from the General Assembly. We have Chairman Vanessa Atterbury, who is also a strong advocate for our education, and as the new chair there, really committed to making sure that we help support our educational system, as well as Delegate Jen Terraza as well. This is incredibly important for us as a delegation. When we go out to our communities, we hear that education is the top priority for so many Howard Countyans. They move here because of education. They have so many children in our public schools, and this is really an investment in our future. And we also recognize that Howard County is one of the fastest growing school systems in the state. And so this commitment that we make financially to our school system is a commitment to our future. Even just this past year, we've put a record amount of funding into public schools and education. We've put in almost $8 billion across the state for our public schools. That's an increase of nearly 7%, including another $800 million for public school construction, in addition to the down payment that we placed earlier for the Blueprint for Maryland's Future. And this is because we recognize how important it is to not only invest in our human infrastructure, which we did with the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, the Kerwin Commission bill last year, by helping support our educators, helping support special education, English learner programs, early childhood education. But it's also important that our students are able to be educated in modern schools. And that's why projects like this here at Hammond are so incredibly important across our county, and why we continue to stand as a delegation in strong support of adequate funding for our school system here in the county. And so I do want to thank the partnership that we have, because this really is a partnership. We could not do this without strong leadership from our county, from Dr. Ball, from our county council members, Opal Jones and Christiana Rigby, as well as our Board of Education. And I know that Board Member Mallow is here too. This is incredibly important to have a partnership. If you don't have all of the wheels turning together, working together to be able to support our students, it's really difficult to be able to have a strong investment in our school system like we are here in Howard County. And so I want to thank all of our partners behind us. Our delegation is strongly supportive of all of your efforts, and all of the folks from the school system, Dr. Martirano, and the school system personnel and staff and leadership for their tremendous effort in making this continue to happen for our public school systems here in Howard County. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. What a great day to be in Howard County. Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge our principal of Hammond High, Dr. John DePaula. Give him a round of applause if you would. And many of our other school system staff is here. I'd first also like to acknowledge Jen Mallow, our Board of Education member, and many of our other board members would like to be here as well today, but cannot do that due to some scheduling conflicts. As already stated, it is difficult to miss the major and beautiful renovation project that is happening right behind us at Hammond High School. This project, as already stated by Dr. Ball, will result in 200 additional seats of capacity and necessary upgrades to this aging building. I am so grateful that we received the funding and supports necessary to move forward with this project. When I became superintendent in Howard County 5 years ago, community members in this area were some of the first with whom I was able to speak with and better understand the needs of the Hammond High School community. One thing for certain that I knew was that they loved their school administrators and staff and were overall happy with their children's education at that time. However, they were greatly concerned, and everybody behind me can attest to this, they were greatly concerned about the almost decade-long delay in the project. it kept getting pushed out and pushed out. This project, as identified, was a major need in our prior budgets through continued advocacy and partnership. Words which have been used consistently today, advocacy and partnership, and the support of our county executive, Dr. Ball, and our wonderful county partners and delegation, this necessary project was able to move forward, and we're so proud of that. Let's just give all of that a round of applause if we could, because it is so amazing, the collaboration and the partnership. At the same time, a similar situation was unfolding at Talbot Springs Elementary School. And I'm ecstatic that they will be entering a brand new building to start the 2022-2023 school year. And it will provide them with the needed capacity and capabilities of the community that needs the educational concerns addressed there as well. A prudent decision was also made to move this from a renovation project to a total replacement project, and we're very pleased about that. Finally, as mentioned by several of the previous speakers, our 13th high school is being built in the southeastern part of the county and has experienced such rapid growth in that particular area. This new high school will serve a wonderful community center and will relieve crowding in several of our schools. We are also concerned about the extensive deferred maintenance list, provided a glimpse to the continuing capital needs of our school system. Dr. Ball, I greatly appreciate your leadership, the Board of Education's leadership, our delegation's leadership, and all the partnerships that occur to make these projects happen. And Dr. Ball, one thing I want to say to you, trust me, we have other projects on the list, and I can trust in what I'm about to say, that I will keep those requests coming in the very near future. Thank you very much. What a great day to be in Howard County. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to first begin by extending my appreciation to the County Executive Ball, members of the County Council, and everyone who has played a role in this major project currently underway in our system. This includes HCPSS staff, people like custodians, maintenance workers, and operations staff who work so hard to keep our buildings functioning, properly maintained, and those that identify capital improvement projects such as this one that we depend on to keep our school system functioning. As we stand before this major renovation project underway here at Hammond High School, we see one example of construction and renovation needs that we have across the county. The efforts at Hammond High School, Talbot Springs Elementary School, and New High School 13 will offer tremendous relief and provide additional capacity. As we take time today to celebrate the work that is being done, it is also important to keep the continuing needs at the forefront of our minds. As buildings age and communities grow, it is critical that our schools receive the updates, upgrades, and expansion necessary to educate our students successfully. As educators, we focus much of our attention on the academic success of our students. What often doesn't get stated is the impact that the learning environment plays in the success of our students and their ability to thrive. As we continue to adapt to the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic and its toll on mental health, we truly appreciate these enhanced and improved learning environments that Dr. Ball's commitment to capital construction has facilitated. Again, on behalf of the Board of Education, thank you, Dr. Ball, for your commitment to the needs of Howard County students, teachers, staff, and families. And thank you to the members of the County Council and our delegation and our community's elected leaders who have provided the necessary support and advocacy for these critical construction projects. Thank you.
I'm Christiana Rigby, and I'm honored to represent District 3 on the County Council. There is truly no better place for us to gather today to celebrate the historic investment in our school system. I'd like to begin my remarks today by going back just a little bit in time, about 20 years ago. In 2002, I was a graduating senior at Hammond High. For 4 years, I walked the halls of Hammond High every day. I danced with Miss Cool on the stage because there wasn't a studio. But I learned physics and chemistry and participated in labs with Mr. Griffin and visited the 40-year-old bathrooms with my friends on breaks. And while I was attending Hammond High School over 2 decades ago, we all knew that it needed a renovation. In fact, fighting for Hammond to receive its long-awaited renovation and addition was one of the reasons that I ran for office 4 years ago. The motto of Hammond High has long been, where people are important. But the physical condition of our school did not make me or my friends feel that way or feel that we mattered, especially when visiting some of the other schools in our county. So I'm so happy to share that the funding commitment in the FY23 capital budget for Hammond High School will be on track to finish its renovation and open its new doors for students in the fall of 2023. As a graduate myself, and as a parent to 2 future Golden Bears, and as your representative, it gives me true pride and joy to stand outside Hammond High School to celebrate this progress. While Hammond High has, and always will, have a special place in my heart, I want to recognize the incredible investments in school construction that this budget makes throughout our county. Thanks to the County Executive Ball and our state delegation, the Howard County Public School System is receiving over $105 million in school construction funding for this year's budget. This funding includes $25 million to advance construction on High School 13 and over $30 million to address systemic renovations and deferred maintenance. This is not hyperbole. My office went back and looked through our previous budgets, and it is the largest investment in nearly 2 decades, at least in the last 2 decades, and it fully funds the school system's request. We have been working hard at the local and state level over the last 4 years to reach this level of investment. In 2019, the council raised the school facilities surcharge on new construction in Howard County to help fund our school construction. Senator Gazzoni and our state delegation have been hard at work in Annapolis, advocating for and delivering more state aid for Howard County. And it has been because of County Executive Ball's leadership and persistence to prioritize school construction year after year that we are able to gather today to celebrate. I look forward to advocating for this critical funding in the coming months as the council considers the capital budget. And I'm so excited for the progress we've made together. Thank you.